Alright, we started working on our interior. We jumped to that, and what we have here is the interior door panels. Okay, they're all done. They look pretty shiny right now and new, but that's hopefully not the way they're going to stay. The purpose of this, in my mind's eye, was to get it the way it was supposed to look originally, and then weather it from there, and then hopefully when I'm done with the weathering, some of the originality of the car would show through. So that's why I took the time to make it look like new. And like I said, hopefully it's not going to be like this forever, and it works out properly to look appropriately aged for the car. So that's where that is. You notice here we got the color of the original color of the car, like I said, springtime or summertime yellow or whatever. But what I noticed from looking online is that a lot of the cars, the Woodies, they seem to have whatever the exterior color was, they had bits of it on the interior, such as these kick panels because they're metal, and then also the dash was the color, so the dashboard's here. And the other one that I noticed was in the interior, I noticed the back wheel wells, interior fender wells, were also the color. So that's why I painted those colors. And again, this will also be weathered. But that's what I did. If I'm wrong, so be it. I'm sure somebody will tell me. But that's from what I've gathered from online, my searching online, so that's where we are. But to get this here, what we did is first I started off with some folk art nutmeg. That was the dark color that I did for the 3 panels on each of the doors, or the 3 sections of each panel is what I'm trying to say. Then the trim work, make it lighter, was this Delta Ceramcoat Spice Tan. Those 2 colors made this up, several coats to get it to work right, and then afterwards I gave it a coat of Future, which of course is making it shiny, but the good thing is it also seals it in, so when I do start weathering it, it doesn't, it allows me to work with it. It doesn't attack and stick to it because it's, a dull coat. The other piece that I had to do was this here. This is the roof. A lot of detail here. It's pretty cool. Again, the same thing. I use the nutmeg here on the inserts, and then around the edges, and the frameworks were all done in the Spice Tan. Also, I started to do a little weathering here. You should be able to see, if the camera allows it. These couple panels here are a little darker than these. That's because I took this ready to wash material here. It's black, and I started painting it on, and I wanted to get into those recesses there in between the slats there, and give it a little bit more depth. And of course, you're not really gonna see it because this is the roof of the car, but I'll know it's there. So all I've really done to do this, mix this up a little bit, taking my brush, okay, and then basically I'm just slopping it in like such. Make sure it gets in the grooves. No magic, just trying to make sure all the spots in between are filled. Ooh, that was a little too heavy, but what are you gonna do? Alright, since I got so much, I might as well continue. Okay. Alright, then once that's on there, basically just taking a piece of paper towel and wiping it down, so all the raised stuff will get wiped off, and the material that settled down into the grooves will stay. And it's also giving the wood a darker appearance. You can see between these and this last panel, it's not done yet, but that'll dry there. When I'm done also, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I plan on going over this also with a heavier coat and no hair, dog hair. And hopefully that'll give this a different texture too. I might have to let it sit on there a little bit longer to get that, but I think it'll work fine. And then what I'm planning on doing also is this same method on the other panels, the interior panels. Hopefully give that some depth, color, bring out the grain, the wood grain in the panels themselves, because there really is a nice wood grain in it. Actually, here, let's do this too. Alright. Well, actually, I should have waited, because this I'm taking off right away. Okay, this I'm going to do and let it sit a little bit longer. Okay, I got it there. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm just kind of freeballing it, so to speak, right now. And then, again, with these over here, it'll fall into the recesses there. Okay. Could do that too. That's definitely going to be dirty. That'll get in between the grooves on those trim pieces there. Okay. Now also, the Future also is working to protect the paint. I've used this material before on unprotected painted surface before, and whatever this is made up of, whatever the ingredient is, it takes the paint off. So that is another reason why we do the Future. And of course, the other good thing is too with the Future, if I make a mistake, just wipe it off, and pretty much allows me to start over again. If this was the bare paint, it really would look, it would be stuck. It would be whatever gets painted on, it would be stuck there. So I'm just gonna haphazardly go, and we do in layers. If we don't like it, we add more. We can always take away. Like I said, be interesting to see what happens. Let that sit for a little bit. Come back over here, and I'm blotting instead of just taking it all away. See what happens. Okay, there. Well, it really doesn't look bad. It looks dirty, but it's still shiny. The problem is, this stuff does leave a shine. What I'll do is when I get it to where I want it, I can just spray coat it with some dull coat, or actually brush on some dull coat, or haphazardly spray it on. Allow some of the shiny to stay visible. In other words, the varnish will wear off in some spots, but it'll stay in others depending on how it's worn. And again, that'll add some contrast to it. All right. We'll just maybe it won't work. No, didn't work so well. Left the ring. See the ring? I'll have to, maybe I just didn't let it sit long enough. I'll have to play with it a little bit. But that's basically the technique that I'm using. Like I said, I can layer it. There's some more. Let's let this sit for a while, see what happens. Alright, be right back.
She also has a gift for mechanics. A blessing as far as our station wagon is concerned. On the day we had promised to take the children to the Feast of St. Anthony Carnival, Sister Bertrille found herself once again trying to coax it into action.
Okay, try it again.
What do we do now?
I don't know. I've tightened everything that was too loose and loosened everything that was too tight. Sister, the car should crank out again, no? The car should conk out again, yes. But don't worry, kids. We'll get it started.